So, with Skeleton Crew wrapping up, I just want to say if the reports are true of the low viewership, then that's a real shame because this show is one of the best things to come out of Disney Star Wars, in my opinion. I think the main reason for the low viewership is probably that unfortunate all-around, lack of goodwill towards Disney Star Wars that was only heightened by the Acolyte. Sure, there have always been those who just love to hate on Disney Star Wars for some reason just because they enjoy the hate more than actually enjoying the thing they claim to be fans of. There's always those people, but with the Acolyte, I feel like it was a little bit different. There were also people who, like me, really wanted to like the Acolyte, really enjoyed the first 2 episodes, and then just felt it went downhill, and by the end of it was like, yeah, this isn't for me. The show just didn't work. And I think for me, there were times when pacing was too slow, at times certain things didn't really make any sense, and overall it was just too dark for Star Wars. Now, I'm not saying Star Wars can't be dark. Rogue One is celebrated as one of the best Star Wars films of all time, and that ending, well, it's not exactly a happy ending for everyone, let's just say, but even with Rogue One, there's still a shining bright light at the end with the knowledge that they accomplished the mission, the Death Star plans are handed off to Leia, who ends the film with one word: hope. Revenge of the Sith, that's another example. That's a pretty dark film overall. Ends with hope. Andor can also be pretty depressing. Luthen Rael's famous monologue is extremely dark, but also kinda tinged with hope. He isn't doing what he's doing just because he's this selfish guy who wants what he wants. He's also doing it for the galaxy at large, sacrificing. One of my problems with The Acolyte is that there was no light. There was no hope. There was only the dark side. The show ended with probably the only somewhat good character, Master Soul, being killed by the person he wanted to protect, kind of, I guess, and Vanestra Rowe, a fan favorite character from the High Republic books, turning corrupt and instigating a cover-up, and Osha just for some reason turning to the dark side. Yeah, both her and May's character arcs just didn't really make much sense. Add to all that the previously mentioned slow nature of the episodes that made episode 4, for instance, just seem like filler, and with the leap in character turns as exemplified by May's sudden turn in the same episode, yeah, the show overall was not as good as it could have been. Generally, I don't like criticizing shows too much because, well, there were people who liked it, and there were a lot of people who worked really hard on it, but I'm sorry, it was a chance that Lucasfilm took, and it just didn't pay off. And that really hurt Skeleton Crew. I know some people that would normally have watched Star Wars that were so turned off by The Acolyte, they didn't even bother to try the show. Which, as I say, was unfortunate, because the show feels way more like Star Wars to me than The Acolyte ever did. There's a line in the finale that I think exemplifies the difference a little bit. Light spoilers ahead if you haven't seen it. It's when Fern says, "Yeah, the galaxy is scary and dangerous. Everywhere we went, even the worst places, there were good people too." Yeah, the show had danger, it had adventure, but there were light moments, there was hope. The world is dark enough. I watch stories to be encouraged and excited. I don't need my Star Wars to feel like the 9 o'clock news. And on top of all that, it was just good storytelling. There weren't any episodes that I can think of that felt like just filler or moments where I can remember it just felt like nothing was being stretched out to something to fill the runtime. And I feel like the characters were better written too. They had arcs in which they learned to be better versions of themselves. They didn't just become evil or get killed off for some mistake they made in the past. Both these shows do have one thing in common, however. They both feel mostly disconnected from the rest of the overarching stories of Star Wars. As long as you know something about Star Wars, you don't have to watch anything else to watch either of these shows. You could watch both these shows separately, which is something I know people want. And I think Skeleton Crew just goes to show you don't need to change the tone completely in order to tell a story that's outside and different. Only one of these shows feels like it belongs in the Star Wars galaxy, and that's Skeleton Crew. Anyways, you can probably tell, guys, I really loved this show. I really loved these characters. I want to see more of them. I hope it gets renewed for another season. If the low viewership is true, then it probably won't, but maybe we can get a continuation of it in some form. My only complaint about the finale, if I have one, is that it ended kind of abruptly. I understand what they were doing with Wim looking off up at the X-Wing fighters, his arc ending with what he wanted to do and all and what he dreamed of, but I just would have liked something of the kids afterwards, kind of, I guess, not going back to their normal lives because they can't go back to their normal lives, just something of like going back to life on At-Aten and having become this group of friends, growing off for more adventures and maybe setting off to help rebuild. Or, be kids while their parents rebuild or whatever. There's still a chance. We could get comics, books, and if we can't get another season of the show or a movie or something, then, I'll at least take those. Like fans of The Acolyte are having to take some of those things coming out. But anyways, guys, that's my view for today. Let me know what you guys think. Which one did you like better, The Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, and let me know why. And also, what Star Wars projects are you most excited for coming up? I know I'm intrigued by this new Reign of the Empire book series that's coming out with The Mask of Fear, beginning it in February. A book about Mon Mothma just sounds like a really good idea. And also Andor Season 2 I know is coming out later this year. I'm excited for that. I have mixed feelings about Andor Season 1, but I did like it enough that I'm starting to get really excited about Season 2. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you later, and may the Force be with you. Bye.